It went down in Atlanta on the Oprah Winfrey soundstage at Tyler Perry Studios. Does it get any blacker than that? Yes, we're talking about last night's Democratic presidential debate, the one that I feel has been most relevant to Black people so far. Race was a big talking point, and the Black candidates scored major points while the frontrunners dropped the ball. Joe Biden was especially sloppy when it came to race, and Senator Kamala Harris did not let it slide. Here's a clip.
I come out of the Black community in terms of my support. If you notice, I have more people supporting me in the Black community that have announced for me because they know me. They know who I am. 3 former chairs of the Black Caucus, the only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate, a whole range of people.
No,
my point is,
that's not true. The other one is here.
Okay, and perhaps most surprising of all, Senator Cory Booker had a performance so strong that after the debate, he raised more money than any previous fundraising day. Take a look at this clip.
I have a lifetime of experience with Black voters. I've been one since I was 18. Nobody on this stage should need a focus group to hear from African-American voters. Black voters are pissed off, and they're worried. They're pissed off because the only time our issues seem to be really paid attention to by politicians is when people are looking for their vote. This week, I hear him literally say that I don't think we should legalize marijuana. I thought you might have been high when you said it. and let me tell you, because marijuana in our country is already legal for privileged people.
I never get tired of watching that. So Cory Booker came from behind to win the night. I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of his at first, but Lola, you're the political expert. I feel like he really broke through. What did he do differently at last night's debate?
Well, I think he went for some kind of zingers, some things to be memorable by, such as that comment about Biden being high. And he really tried to distinguish himself as like, I am the person that can talk to and about African-American issues. He kind of went after Pete Buttigieg a bit with, well, what do you know? I know more kind of thing. But even so, if you look at some of the polling that's been done since, he's still a bit further down the line. Like Pete Buttigieg came out quite close to the top, Elizabeth Warren. So I don't know how much difference it's going to make in the long run. But it's good in the short term, at least for fundraising and at least for profile raising.
But he'll live to make it to another debate, though.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a fear of his going in.
Yes.
Definitely.
Relatability is really big on everybody. So appealing to the people is what you want to do and getting the young vote out. And we all know how marijuana is among the I mean, if we're keeping it real, we all know how that is. And so he relates to the Black experience. He relates to the younger voters out there. And the key is going to get them out there, too, because at this point, we have to have anything that maintains hope and encouragement for the future.
And so speaking of keeping it real and the marijuana debate, do you think that that is an issue that can be a deciding factor for Black voters?
Maybe. I think that's not the only issue, but that definitely is an issue. I think that, white people have been just profiting off of marijuana the whole time. And, we're just trying to make some coins too. So we'll see what happens. But I'm still just like grasping with looking at Cory as like a real candidate. You know what I mean? Because from beginning, I'm like, man, he's shoveling snow. He ain't serious about shit. But now I'm like, I feel that he might be able to do something. I don't know.
This debate changed your mind.
The clips.
Precisely, the clips.
The debates are good for people who are still trying to decide who they want. And I think a lot of people still are undecided. The thing about the marijuana is that for older voters, I don't think that is an issue. But obviously, there's a generational issue going into this election too. And I think that is actually where a lot of that's the difficulty, I think, in this campaign, is trying to actually play both sides, appeal to older folk and appeal to younger people as well. And I don't know if Cory Booker is the guy to do that, but I think it's good that his voice is still in the debate.
Yes. With the marijuana situation, going back to that, you see a lot of Black people locked up for this.
Yeah.
Right.
And so if you legalize it, that is a big Black issue. We try to make it like it's not, but it is a big Black issue that we need to address. So maybe that will help the prison system in relations with black people.
And you believe Biden's stance on marijuana will hurt him with black voters?
It will. It will. I mean, his clumsiness in general will hurt him with voters in general. So, like, if you can't even make it through a debate, I can't trust you to go to bat internationally with, speaking on behalf of me. No, too clumsy.
They haven't really wavered. People haven't wavered in their support for Biden so far, which is a little bit perplexing to people.
Right. He's still the front runner among black voters.
Is it support or is it just like, we know you and we fuck
They're
with you?
affiliated with Obama, so it's just like, that's Obama's homeboy, and we feel like Obama's our homeboy, so
You friends with my friends, you good with me. That's how I feel that Biden is. But the more that he speaks, you're like, I don't know if I should be his friend.
He makes gaffes all the time, but I don't know if it's people see it as malicious or just kind of like, oh, Uncle Joe, that's just kind of what he does.
Right, but speaking of gaffes, his biggest gaffe of the night was that statement, and I want to get it exactly right. He says he came out of the black community.
Yes.
What does that even mean?
Well, he tried to, he tried to style it out. He tried to style it out with like, in terms of my polling. But basically, I think he's taking it for granted that African American people like him. And that's what I think he means. And also, of course, he's trying to draw on his relationship with the Obamas, which I understand too. And I think he has to be really careful with that, because I think black voters were very suspicious about people who just think they're going to get our vote just because. And when you start making that kind of statement, it's like, okay, well, you really do think that you are kind of just our guy. And for that reason, I think some people might even be like, for that reason, I'm going to think twice about you.
Right, and I feel like this election really highlights the fact that the black vote is so important. That's what every candidate is going for. It will make or break you.
Yep, 100%.
Go ahead.
I just think that it's like one of those cases where it's like, I have a black friend, so I can say this kind of thing, and that's what he was like aiming at. Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good with y'all because I got this one black friend that's hold me down. No, you have to be like,
He didn't.
sweetheart. Are you sure? Sweetheart, do you know our plight?
He didn't come out of the black community. Like, he came into the black community. You know what I mean? It's like, before Barack Obama, I didn't know this motherfucker. Like, I didn't know him. He came to the community. He didn't come out of our community. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm gonna start talking a lot of shit.
Don't apologize. So I can't understate the significance of the setting of this debate in Atlanta at the Tyler Perry Studios. I definitely came away with a clearer understanding of where many of the candidates stand on race, and that was important to me as a journalist and as a voter.